Hello friends, as I mentioned earlier a few weeks back that I'm going to create a software which will help all the musicians who would like to write or compose the music using Indian notations. So here I am with the software that will help many of you to compose the music and write it down using Indian notation style. I given the name of the software as Indian Notation Writing. So I will walk you through this software and explain you various aspects of the software. So of course you want to create a new composition. So you click on new composition. But here it says please log in or register. So of course you have to log in. So if you're using it for the first time, then you have to register with your email ID, first name, last name, and mobile number. And once you register, you can log in with your email ID and mobile. So once you log in, you can now create composition. So let's try to create composition. Yes, but first at least you have to create one project. Otherwise, so project is nothing, is like a folder. So in one project is like folder and you keep different composition like files. So folder is a project and composition is like a file. So, okay, so let's create a project. Recently I was working on Des Rag. So I can say Rag Des. I can create a project for the Rag Des. So once I create a project, so here it says project created successfully. Okay. Now you can start creating composition. So here my project name is appeared, and then I will create a composition which is Des Sargam. Composition saved. Let's go back. So here is my project Rag Des, and in that project Rag Des, I created just now one composition Des Sargam. In the same project, I can add another, or I can create a new project. Maybe I will give Rag Yaman as a new project name. So, and I will create one more composition. So I see two folders now, Rag Des and Rag Yaman. So in Rag Yaman, I will say Yaman Sargam. Create composition. Composition saved. So when it's a composition saved, it's just a blank file, and in couple of seconds I'll explain you. So we have two projects now, Rag Des and Rag Yaman, and in each of them there is one composition. I can add composition in the project. So I can select any of the project, let's say Rag Des, and I can say Des Tintal Gat1. Composition saved. So in Rag Des now I have two compositions, and Rag Yaman I just have one composition, Yaman Sargam. Now it is time to edit it. So this Sargam, let's start with the this Sargam. So here is a main editor page where you can start editing the composition that you want to compose or music with Indian notation style. So let me first put date. So maybe this is the date I want to put on which I'm starting writing composition. So this is the date. I'll just put enter. So I go to new line and then I'll give a title, Des Sargam. So I'll make it a little bigger. So here you can see XXL, XL, large, medium, small, and tiny, XS. So these are the different size of fonts. This is the different font size you can select. So whatever you type here and you click corresponding button, that way you will get the font size. So this Sargam, I'll prefer to have a size of XL, or let's say right now I will XL. So this Sargam, I'll enter. Then I'll start writing this Sargam. So let's say my Sargam start from the sum. So I'll introduce first the symbol of sum. Now I say that there is a very little distance between this Sargam and my sum symbol. Maybe this is not right. So I want to delete this. I'll just use delete button and that will go. I'll use enter, so it will go to next line. So now we have enough space between this Sargam title and my actual sum symbol. Now I can start typing my music swaras. So here you see Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa, which are the 12 swaras. This is the lower octave, which is in sort of a blue background, and the yellow background swaras, those are middle octave, and green background swaras are higher octave. So I given all the 12 swaras: Sa, Re, Komal Re, Ga, Komal Ga, Ma, Tivra Ma, Pa, Dha, Komal Dha, Ni, and Komal Ni in all the 3 octaves. And as the strokes are very important when you compose the music for sitar playing or sarod playing. I also given the strokes da, ra, diri, and arda. And fingering also, that I will explain later, that sometimes you have to put fingers, second finger where to put, and first finger, etc. So I given the number 2. And here is sur size. You can have sur size from 5, 10, 15, 20, up to 100. There is a reason up to 100, so I'll explain you. And these are the tal matras: sam, dusri tal, tisri tal, khali, and chauthi tal. And sometimes there is an empty beat, so you can introduce that beat here. Then this is a space. Enter is a new line. Delete is the deleting, and you can also print, that I'll explain at the end, and you can save the file. So let's start composing something so you'll understand. So ni sa re ma pa da ma ga re ga sa re ma pa ni sa ni. So that's a sargam. So I'll start with ni. Ni, sa. Then I'll give a space because that's one beat. Re, ga. So in this, there is no, in Aroha, there is no ga. So I made a mistake by typing ga. What should I do? I have to delete it. So just use delete button. Ni sa re ma. So I'll use ma and then space. Pa da ma ga. So this particular this sargam is in tin tal that I'm composing. So I completed 4 beats and then dusri matra comes. So I'll put this symbol, dusri matra. Ni sa re ma pa da ma ga re ga sa re. So I have to put re ga sa re ma pa ni sa. As you see, as you go to higher octave, I put the higher octave sa. Immediately it represented a sa with a dot symbol on top, and here ni on lower octave it introduced the dot at the bottom. So that represents the lower octave and higher octave. So that's how I created this. Now let's say if it is not Desargam or Yaman, and by mistake I put this Shuddhama instead of Tivrama, and I want to change with the Tivrama. So I just have to do, I would click on that suras and just say delete and then introduce ma. So Tivrama. So that's how you can fix it. But since we are working on this, so I better write Shuddhama. Ni sa re ma pa da ma ga re ga sa re ma pa ni sa ni. So I can put this again comes the khali, sam, dusitar, khali. Ni sa re ma pa da ma ga re ga sa re ma pa ni sa ni. And after ni, it's just one swara in that beat. So, and there is half matra pause. So that's how I represent ni. Now let's say I have to take a mean from ma to sa, ma pa ni sa. So there is a mean is also available. So if I click on mean, the mean symbol comes and you can move this with your mouse anywhere. So that is the beauty of the software. You can move this mean. But now this mean is very small because I want to say from ma to sa. I want to say this is a I want to play with the mean. So this is what I created is not good enough. So I will just delete it. And here comes the sur size will help you to put the right kind of a mean. So maybe I'll choose of 70 and I'll put mean. See, now we have good mean. And you can say Mapanisa. So that's how. But our original size was 20, so I'll go back and I'll put 20. And then I can proceed with my another typing. So my next is Nisa beat Pada. So this is how I create, and now comes the third. So sam, dusital, khali, tisrital. And I type ma ga re ga So this is I completed one line. Now again sum comes, so you can enter, you can start with a new line and start with the sum. So you have a choice of either entering a new line, or if you want to create a space between these two, you just have to enter one more time. So cursor come down and then you can, so it's up to you how do you want to write it down. But if you're writing a tanas and it takes maybe 2 or 3 avartanas of the tala, then maybe you can write it uh, as I am writing, not leaving too much space between the lines. But that is absolutely up to you how you want to write it down. Now I'll show you. You can also write in different sur size. So if I increase sur size, see it changes. And if you type something, then the size will be different. So that's how I given sur size, but it may not be, it doesn't look good if you start with maybe one font size, then it looks better to continue with that size. So I'll continue with 20, that was our size. So likewise you can type anything, and wherever you think that you made some mistake, you just have to click on that, delete it and add another sura. So you have flexibility to do anything. And once you done with that, so let's say this is supposed to be antara line and then maybe sthai line and then antara. So you can just mention here that I want to add antara. So I'll give this as a heading antara, and I can start writing antara now. Now I figured out that I put a heading antara here, but I forgot to put heading for sthai. So how do I do that? So my sthai should come after this sargam. So I'll just enter here, and I will just put sthai. Okay, now it looks good. Oops, but this min is moved. Okay, no problem. You just drag and place at the right. So this is how you can work and you can compose the music. Now let's say I've done enough composition. I want to save it. Okay, just save it. It says composition saved. Good. So now you can go back and you can see. So we were working on Rag Des Sargam, which is created on this date. And you have to see if it is saved or not. So next time you want to go and edit, yes, it's there. So you're done composing something, you composed quite a bit of music, maybe a page or two, and you take a break. So you just save, take a break, come back, it's there. And you can start, you can click here. So wherever you want to start writing, you just click there and you can start writing after that. So I can say, okay, sare space ga empty beat ga ga. really dusri tal. So like that I can start creating my music. Again, just save it, composition saved, fine. I will go back. So this is how I can create my composition. Now this Tintalgat we did not touch at all, so you can say edit. Okay, it's empty, fine. I'll put date. I can put small letters, or if I made a mistake, I wanted to put just cut and paste here and just delete this and say medium. So that way also you can put. You can save this and you can go back. So date 11 June 2020, medium, enter. This Gat in Tintal. Let me give a large title. And you can write something about. So here you can write anything. If you want to give an introduction about that particular Gat, you can write introduction small. Let's say I want to make this as a bold introduction. No problem. You just delete this. You cut paste here. And you have to put strong like this before and after. This is kind of HTML syntax. See, now it is bold. I can write anything. This Gat I composed based on the Gat that I learned from my Guru, late Ustad Shamim Ahmad Khan. Good enough. So this is how you can write any free text in any font size. You just want to put a very small note like I made a little alteration in this Gat, but I have to put it very small letters. Okay, I will just put it here. That's it. And then I can start writing something. I have to write a Komalni. So here comes a Komalni. Something like that. Second matra. Okay, so like that I can write, I can delete something. I can, so if I want to delete introduction, I'll just click on introduction. If I want to delete this, I click on this. If I want to delete, I click on this, and it will, the cursor will show where it is. So that's how you can delete. You have to delete. So wherever cursor goes, you can delete the previous letter, and where cursor is, you enter anything, it will enter from that point. So that's the thing you need to remember. And then you save, composition saved. Okay, you go back. So we just finished this Tintal Gat one. You can go back and edit. Yes, is there. You can add something again. Sa, sa, oops, I entered Komal Ray. This is not correct. I'll just delete it. I'll just Shuddha Ray. Sa, sa, something like that. Okay. Some the Sital. Now comes the Khali. And then you just blank bait and something. Now, in case of sitar or sarod, it is very important to tell the strokes as well. So his re re papa, so diri diri dara, dara. So I can use symbol diri and I can move here. Diri, diri, da, ra. Da. Ra. So that's how you explain how this is played. And now let's say sa sa re ma pa dha. So when you pa dha and after dha you're coming back to ma. So this dha you need to play with your second finger. So just mention dha need to play with the second finger. So this is a kind of a guidance for the students to tell them which note when you're playing sitar or sarod, which swara is you need to use second finger and rest is the first finger. So pama, so here also I will use second. So this is how the fingering is also you can explain using this tool and also the strokes. So I think this is a very nice tool where you can explain all the suras. So I'll give some oops. I'll come back, something goes wrong, I can come back and still it will be there, it is saved, so I have nothing to worry. So last saved will always be there and you can keep working from that point. So I just explained how strokes are shown. Diri, diri, da, ra. And fingering like ni, played with the second finger. And once you do, you always better to save it. So composition is saved. And you can go back and whenever you find time, you can edit it. But let's say by mistake, Rag Yaman, Yavan Sargam, you think that this is not the name you wanted to give. Or let's say by mistake you created this composition, you can just delete it. The composition will be deleted. So you won't see that. But doesn't matter, the project will still be there. So when you say new composition, you have a choice to select which project. So Yaman, I will say Yaman Jhaptal. Good. Create composition. Okay, now I have Yaman Jhaptal. So I can start creating Yaman Jhaptal. So this is, I always wanted to give some date. So it is good that you know when you are modifying. So large, because let's say you compose something, one first line, second line, third line, like that. You save, you go back, and again you come back after a week and you want to give a name. You find something, you can always want to put date. Oh, on this date I found something new, maybe on 18th June. So I can always say, okay, this part I composed on 11th June, this part I am composing on 20th June, something like that. And you can start creating. So this is also good way to use this free text tool to add something very meaningful that you will remember. Of course, let me save this. There is one more thing I wanted to show you. This is regarding Jhala, or let me give a name. So Jhala is something pretty important in case of so I start playing Jhala, and then it's like sa 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 ching 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 re si ching ching ni ching 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 dha ching. So this is what I play Jhala. So sa, and then I play 3 times Chikari. 1, 2, 3, space. So these are 4 beats. Sa ni dha Chikari pa Chikari, and next line again from some, or if you wish you can continue from previous ma, or I will Shuddha ma Chikari pa Chikari sa, enter. Then you want to put sa Chikari Chikari re space, then 2 Chikaris ma, 2 Chikaris, but I have to give space. So like that you can write Jhala also. So this is notation C, small c is a notation for Chikari. So this also helps you to write Jhala. So like that, this tool is very helpful in creating composition in Indian music notation style. I prefer to use English word. The reason is for me it is easy to develop the software that way. But it is also possible to write in Devanagari as well, but that will be my next version for the Devanagari. But I think with this also it is very student can understand, and how to use this software for writing or composing music using Indian notation style. So I have still few, I'll not say bugs, but yeah, there is some little improvement I need to make, and I need to, in order to launch it for everyone, I will need some more work to do. So I think in a week's time, I will be able to launch this application so you guys can use it. So stay tuned with me, and uh, keep watching my videos, and I'll launch uh, within a couple of weeks for everyone. I hope this will really help all of you. So keep using it and send me your feedback as you use it. Of course, there may be some bugs, but I'm here to resolve that. And if it really helps you, then don't forget to donate generously, so that will help me to keep improving the software and put different features in the software going forward in the future. Thank you very much.